When I was a kid, I spent most of my time by myself in nature. Had the great good fortune to be born in Australia beside the coast. Patterns in nature became very apparent pretty quickly. If I grabbed hold of seaweeds to stop myself being washed over rocks, the seaweeds would break off very easily, and yet those seaweeds survived perfectly well in a wild storm with the biggest waves. So these fragile seaweeds, what were they doing that was different? If you can capture a particular moment of that swirling, you notice that they're all changing their shape into the shape of the whirlpool in your bathtub when you pull the plug. There's order in the chaos. And so over years, I noticed that this was an archetypal shape of movement. It was everywhere. It's actually the only shape that nature uses for movement. From the biggest galaxies, even the whole universe is supposed to have the spin, right down to particle decay and particle accelerators. Every living thing goes through a liquid phase in its development, so is built to the geometry of whirlpools. So every part of the human body, or a tree, our blood flows this way, our heart muscles this shape, cochlea of our ears, sap goes up a plant this way. So you can find these proportions in every aspect of every living thing. And so out of that, humans developed the notion that this order represented the creator, the divine God, fertility, intelligence. Turns out it's the most common icon for all religions through history. Leonardo da Vinci, of course, was extremely aware of it, and in fact, spent the last 10 years of his life looking at flow, how water moves, how air moves, how hair grows. Now, if you remember that nature only moves fluids in these spiral pathways, you can have nature teach us how to build a device that matches what these fluids want to do. And when I started building these shapes into my canoes and surfboards and things, they actually went better. So I started a company, Pack Scientific. We eventually froze a whirlpool. First of all, it's a very beautiful thing, so much so that the MoMA in New York have it in their permanent collection. And once I had that, then I was able to really build pretty much anything in the industrial world, from fans to pumps and turbines. And the first one was a frozen whirlpool just this big that I could put in a tank of water. And believe it or not, I could influence this entire water body of 10 million gallons. That's absolutely ridiculous from a normal engineering point of view. When we build fans according to the geometry of whirlpool, we can take the best fans in the world and improve their efficiency by nearly half. Biomimicry is affecting the bottom line in a dramatic way. You're reducing energy, you're reducing pollution, using waste as a resource. So it's far more profitable to copy nature than to exploit it and destroy it. And there's this rapidly growing recognition that nature can teach us all of the solutions that we need to bring back complete sustainability and have a totally viable future for planet, its species, and humans. This is a moment in history that seems to happen from time to time in history. And we're looking at a revolution, a technological change, an about-face of our trajectory like nothing we've ever seen before.